All right, everyone, just give me a moment while I set us up. All right, everyone, welcome to the 187 District Court. You are in a courtroom. So anything that you could not do if you were physically in the courtroom, you cannot do on this Zoom screen. You are to behave professionally on this Zoom screen. If you do not, you will be ordered to appear in court. Being on Zoom is a privilege. To everyone who's on the screen, the inmates at the jail, you are not allowed to use the chat box. If you use the chat box, you will be sent back. No one is allowed to pick up dates on this Zoom. And I know you probably say, why is she telling us that? Because people have tried to pick up dates on this Zoom. That is not allowed. If you're at your home, you're not allowed to be laying in bed. You're not allowed to be doing the lawn, cooking, or whatever, because you couldn't do that if you were in the courtroom. If you do that, you will be forced to come down to the courthouse. I'm going to open the breakout rooms. When I open the breakout rooms, it will invite everyone to go to a breakout room. Do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call your name and assign you to the breakout room. To the defense attorneys, you will know that there are more defense attorneys than there are prosecutors on the screen. So when I send you to a breakout room, think of the breakout room as when you go to your doctor's office. When the doctor or nurse calls you to come to the back, you don't see the nurse or the doc. I mean, you don't see the doctor right away. What ends up happening, they send you to that breakout room and they check your blood pressure and they check your weight and you wait. If you leave the breakout room, when a prosecutor is going to that breakout room, they're going to see that it's empty and they're going to skip right over you. So everyone, please put some patience in your pocket and we will get to you. I'm going to call the names of the attorneys. To all of those who are here who are accused or defendants, your name will not be called. Your attorney's name will be called. If you do not hear your attorney's name, it is because your attorney is Zooming in another courtroom. Trust me, you will get a chance to speak with your attorney. The people who will be going to the breakout rooms to speak first will be your attorney, and it will also be someone from the state. So please do not raise your hand and say, am I supposed to go to the breakout room? Because I'm going to ask you, did I call your name for you to go to the breakout room? And the answer is that is going to be no. So just wait till someone asks you to come to the breakout room. The other thing, everyone needs to be appropriately dressed. I realize you're at home. Matthew Roberts, you are not allowed to wear your tank top. You need to go and put on a top that has some sleeves to it. All right, go forth and make that happen. All right, when I call the attorney's name, this is the order in which you will appear. If you see that you're low on the list and you want to Zoom to another court, you're more than welcome to Zoom to another court. However, if you Zoom to another court when your name is called, you will be skipped over. If you have a plea bargain agreement, no matter how small you think the agreement is, you need to put that in the chat box to Norma Ferguson. She will be listed as Ferguson coordinator. Please do not text her, call her, email her, asking if you're excused or can you be excused. I'm the only person who can do that. So this is the order of the attorneys: Jacqueline Lamerson, Joey Contreras, Adam Flores, Patrick Ballantyne, Anton Hayek, Ed Camara, Teresa Conley, and we have Mr. Barrera here under the name of Jose Zamora. Is there any attorney's name that I missed? Okay, so to the attorneys, when I call your name, please tell me, oh, and I see Robert Maurer is in the courtroom.
George is here as well.
George
And George
Schaefer.
Schaefer. All right, thank you. So attorneys, when I call your name, I need to know who your client is and whether or not it's criminal trial division or family violence. Jacqueline Lamerson.
It is CTD. We have a PTD agreement. I'm emailing right now so I can make an announcement as to when we'll get that contract in.
Okay, what's your client's name?
Matthew Roberts.
All right. Let me know what the update is on that. Just give me a moment. Joey Contreras.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here on Carlos Landine. It's a violation hearing. Bond.
All right.
Bond.
All right, is it family violence? Do you know the under?
I'm sorry. No, it's not. It's an intox assault.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2 to discuss it with someone from the state.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Adam Flores.
Your Honor, Council President, but Your Honor, I was never hired on this case, Your Honor.
Who is this client?
Daniel Garza. I was never hired on the MTR, Your Honor.
All right, just give us a moment. We're going to find out what's going on.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay.
Patrick Valentine.
Good morning, Judge. We're here on a sentencing for Lazarus Davila.
All right, just give me a moment on that. Anton Hayek, you're here for a sentencing as well. Who is your client?
Jeremy Cordova, he's here in the courtroom.
All right, just give me a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Ed Camara.
Yes, I'm here on San Juan Wilson. It's a criminal trial.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3.
With my client?
You want to meet with your client?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Wilson, I'm sending you to breakout room number 3. Teresa Conley.
Good morning, Your Honor. At Civil Trial Division, I have Priscilla Lugo. I talked to Dr. Cardwell last week, and he believes she's incompetent. I don't know if you got the report yet or not.
All right, just give me 1 moment. I'll get right back with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Barrera.
He just stepped out of the office here.
Okay, all right. Robert Maurer, who are you here for?
Judge, I have 2 people on your docket. I have, with David Martin, I have Antonio Casablanca, and I'm actually chatting with him by text right now. Then I
Okay,
have Devonta Hemphill, and that was just for the state to determine the actual restitution before we can do a plea.
all right, just give us a moment. George Schaefer.
Good morning, Judge. I'm here on Mr. Jose de Leon Rodriguez. We have a motion to set aside his plea that was filed in a timely fashion, and we're ready for the court to hear that.
All right, just give me a moment.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, the first thing we'll do on Lazarus Davila, is there a prosecutor available for that sentencing?
Yes, Judge.
All right. What? All right, if you're not a part of this hearing, I'm going to ask that you please mute. Court is calling 2021 CR 1479, State of Texas versus Lazarus Davila. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Tom Nisbet.
for the defense?
Patrick Valentine.
All right, and are you Mr. Lazarus Davila?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. For the record, the court will note that the defendant and defense counsel are in the courtroom Is there any objection with us proceeding by video? State,
None.
defense?
None, Your Honor.
We are here today for sentencing. The court will note that a plea was entered on May 3rd. The defendant entered a plea of guilty and there's no application. And at that time, the plea was entered by Zoom. Defense, are you ready to proceed with sentencing?
We are ready, Judge.
State, are you ready to proceed with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, according to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 5 years in the prison. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, we ask that you follow this plea bargain agreement, sentence Mr. Davila accordingly, and he appreciates the considerations of both the prosecutors and the court.
All right, then the court will follow your plea bargain agreement, sentence you to 5 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. Yes?
Are there different sentences on this case because a failure to stop and render aid stops at 5? Is that sentence different than the aggravated robbery? I don't have the paperwork, but I feel like I remember that.
All right, is there a second case that he has?
Well, he should be sentencing on case 19 CR 10471.
I don't
And
have that paperwork. I don't have that file. Excuse me, to the clerks. I do not have all the paperwork on Lazarus Davila. I don't have all his files. I'm being told that he has more than one case. Mr. Valentine, is there more than one case?
Yes, Your Honor, there's 2019 CR 10471 is the aggravated robbery, and the agreement on that one is 7 years.
All right, just give me a moment, everyone. I do not have that file. Could you give me that cause number again, please? 2019?
CR 10471.
Clerks, I need 2019 CR 10471, please.
Sentencing real quick, and then we'll probably with you in 1 sec, okay? Just, are you okay?
About how long will it be?
3 to 4 minutes.
Seven was this one.
You signed all the paperwork and returned it, correct? Yes. So did I. So we're ready to go.
Everything else is under. You're doing.
All right, we're back on the record. The court is also going to call 2019 CR 10471. Again, could the parties announce for that case as well, please, for the state,
Tom Nisbet.
for the defense?
Patrick Valentine.
And again, is there any objections to this sentencing taking place by video due to the pandemic, state?
No.
Defense?
None, Your Honor.
And the court will note that a plea of guilty was entered on May 3rd in this cause number. And that plea was taken by video. According to the plea bargain in that case, punishment is to be assessed at 7 years in the prison. With regards to that case, defense, is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, again, we ask that you follow the plea bargain agreement, and we appreciate the considerations of the state in.
Then in cause number 2021 CR 1479, the court will follow your plea bargain agreement, sentence you to 5 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. This will run concurrent with 2000. In the plea bargain agreement, it says 2021 CR 10471. I'm assuming that that's incorrect.
Yeah, okay, so case ending 10471 is running concurrently with case ending 1479, 2021 CR 1479.
So the plea bargain agreement that was reached in 2021 CR 1479, any objections to the court changing the case that it is to run concurrent with?
No objections.
All right. So again, in that cause number, the court was in 2021 CR 1479, the court will sentence you to 5 years in prison, give you credit for any time served. This will run concurrent with 2019 CR 10471. The state will take in consideration the following cause numbers: County Court Cause Number 639-185, 607-187, Grand Jury Number 741734. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing in that cause number? State?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Davila, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And because it is felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And cause number 2019 CR 10471, the court previously found you guilty. The court will follow your plea bargain agreement, sentence you to 7 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. This will run concurrent with 2021 CR 1479. The state will take in consideration the following cause numbers: 2021 CR 1480, 2021 CR 1481, 2019
As soon as
CR.
my name, just call me.
Excuse me. Could you please be silent? We're on the record. Court will take in consideration 2019 CR 8170, 2021 CR 1478. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing in that cause number?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Davila, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal in that cause number. Did you review it with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Davila. We can go off the record. Mr. Davila, you have choices that you need to make in your life. Either you're going to do what's right, or you're going to end up in and out of prison. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Davila. Mr. Valentine, if you don't have anything else with us, you're excused.
Your Honor, we have a Jacob Garcia on the docket today. I can swing back around if you have other business to take care of. That's just a,
If you can come back at 11, is that possible, or 10:30?
that should be fine. I'll be back then.
All right,
Thank
thank you. All right, the next person we have is Anton Hayek.
Present ready, Your Honor.
All right, who is the prosecutor on this?
I believe it's David Martin.
You speak his name and he appears.
Oh, good.
All right. And Norma, the interpreter is here for Mr. Gonzalez. Do we have the attorney present?
Let me check. Give me 1 second.
All right, David Martin, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay.
Judge, that hearing is scheduled for 11.
Maria,
Yes, Judge.
are you able to come back at 11? My understanding it's
Oh,
scheduled.
wait, is that
for-
the, I'm sorry. I thought she was the Spanish interpreter, Judge. That's the
No.
French interpreter, correct?
Yes, I am here for the French case today.
Oh, okay.
They told me it was for,
There's two, yeah, there's two of them. There's a French interpreter and a Spanish interpreter that's supposed to be here today, Judge.
Oh my goodness, Maria, forgive me. Bonjour.
Bonjour, comment ça va?
Okay, let me find out where, for this
Let me
case.
see, what would be my answer? Just 1 second. I'm trying to remember my French. Let me see, je suis, I forgot the word for happy.
Heureuse,
I'm sorry, say it again, please.
heureuse, ou contente.
Okay, that is a lot. Brenna, I'm gonna have to remember that. But at least it's not je suis fatigué, so we're good.
Non, non, fatiguée.
Yes, so yay. Comment ça va?
Très bien, et vous, madame?
Oh, très bien. That's the word I was looking for.
The one.
All right, David, have you had a chance to review the PSI on Mr. Cordova?
Yes.
Okay. And this one, he only pled in 2021 CR 2707, is that correct?
Yes. I believe so, Your Honor.
All right, Brenda, you ready? Court is calling 2021 CR 2707, State of Texas versus Jeremy Daniel Cordova. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
David Martin.
for the defense?
Anton Paul Hayek III.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. The court will note for the record that defense counsel and defendant are in the courtroom. Any objections to us proceeding by video? State?
No objection.
Defense?
No objections.
And the court will note for the record that the defendant entered a plea on April 13th of no contest. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find the defendant guilty, and that was done by video as well. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 6 years in the prison. The state is remaining silent, and there are other cases that are being taken into consideration. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No objection.
Defense?
No objections.
All right, defense, the state is silent. You may proceed. Do you have any witnesses?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. First,
call
I
you-
ask, did the court have a chance to look through the submission we left last week?
Yes, the court has reviewed the defense's submission.
And Mr. Martin, did you also receive a copy? Did you have a chance to look at it?
Yes.
It was in a green folder. Okay. Your Honor, when I first looked at this case, I thought it was going to be one of excessive alcohol consumption, as it is. I know it's not a defense to prosecution. My client says, I don't remember doing this stuff to Jordan Whitley. He and Jordan have been together for 11 years, and he believes they have a child that's 3 years old. After reading the 1,600 texts that I saw, I thought, that's really wrong for this person to say she's scared of Jeremy, but going out of her way to text him obnoxiously. And she's already done another 200 texts since we submitted. And she also sent a video of her and her son today. I mean, she just harasses my client. For Jane to say she was miserable is just wrong. Where are the police reports? And how does producing a child become the solution of something? Jeremy would tell you that he supported Jason Jordan for the 11 years. He has 2 other children by 2 different baby mamas. He supports those too. Is that correct? Yes, sir. Do you want him sworn, Judge?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Did you want this man sworn?
Yes, are you calling him as a witness?
Well, I'm kind of doing a preamble right now, but
All
would you
right.
swear him, please?
Yes, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand. I'm going to need you to speak up. Can you state your name for the record?
Jeremy Cordova.
All right, defense?
Okay, Mr. Cordova, is it true that you're supporting 3 children now?
Yes, sir.
Is it also true that you don't have the same job in San Antonio that you used to have?
Yes, sir.
and that of being a tugboat captain.
Yes, sir.
All right, with a large tugboat. Okay. Jeremy's been attending AA, Your Honor. His sponsors here is Miss Carlene. She's in the back. It got so bad with Jordan coming over and harassed him. She showed up at 3 o'clock in the morning at his mother's house. She burglarized vehicle on one or more occasions and demanded $100 ransom for his paperwork and wallet back, which his dad was the go-between to get that. So my advice to my clients who wash Jordan out of his hair, we're not going to go through this entire thing. The first submission page should be that he still has a job. We're going to call Tiffany. She didn't show up today. She was fearful of being here in the courtroom.
Well, just one second. State, do you have any questions for Mr. Cordova?
No, Judge.
All right, defense, call your next witness.
Well, we're going to call Tiffany. And as I said, she was fearful of being in the courtroom today, so she's not going to be present. We'd like to call Carlene. Come on up, Carlene.
Who is Carlene? What is Carlene's last name?
Horley.
All right, Mr. Cordova, you probably need to step aside.
May I
Could
proceed,
you raise
Your
your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. Could you state your name for the record, please?
My name is Carlene Gorley.
All right, can you spell that for the record?
Yes, ma'am. It's Gourley.
All right, defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. And how is it you know Jeremy Cordova?
I met Jeremy in AA.
And are you his AA sponsor?
I currently am.
And have you gone beyond that and taken him under your wing?
I have.
That was only part of the question. And he now lives with you?
He does.
And was part of that because of Jordan coming over to his mother's house at early morning hours, we believe at 3 a.m.?
Yes, sir.
Was part of that because of Jordan's breaking into his truck?
Yes.
Okay. And you're the one that furnished the 1,600 texts to me. So you're well aware of how Jordan's been texting him.
Yes, sir.
And today, did Jordan send you a movie?
Yes, she did. Oh, if you would like me to grab my phone, I can.
Yes, I can't see the phone. Here's the thing. What's in the movie? What movie are you talking about?
Go ahead.
You want me to go? Your Honor, so she messaged me this morning asking if Jeremy could please contact her. We have him blocked on his phone. So she messaged my phone, which she got my phone number from the paperwork that she had stolen from his truck on the AA signatures. My phone number was on there. So she contacted me asking. So she sent a movie of Jeremy's son, Jace, well, their son, Jace, saying how much Jace loved his daddy this morning.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Yes. So do you recommend that the judge grant him either deferred adjudication or probation?
I do.
Do you think prison would do any good for him?
I do not. He has been successful so far addressing his alcoholic problem. I do. I think if he continues, he will be successful.
And while he has been in your care or in your knowledge, has he ever tried to reach out to Jordan?
No, it's been majority.
Has he ever gone over to her house at any time?
No, sir.
And has he ever gotten to have visitation with his son?
No, she does not let him see him.
Okay, I'll pass the witness.
State any questions?
No question.
All right, call your next witness. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
I call Jeremy, Your Honor. You've already sworn him in. Please state your name again for the record.
Jeremy Cordova.
Okay. You know you're here seeking probation or deferred adjudication from the court.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you know the plea barns, the state will remain silent as long as you tell the truth.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So do you ever want to see Jordan again?
Yes, sir. But under the circumstances with my son, hopefully.
You need to speak up. Nobody can hear you. You're mumbling.
Okay, we'll get a little closer.
I mean, no. Step back because I can't see your face. He doesn't need to be closer. He just needs to, if you could speak up so I can hear your voice so that the court reporter can hear.
All right, let me try this. Is Jordan's present state very harassing and mean right now?
Yes, yes,
So do you want to see her now?
no,
And have you ever gone over to her house?
no,
And when you get these texts, most of the time, you don't respond?
no, sir.
And have the texts been abusive, like every 20 minutes all night long?
Yes, sir.
Have you been able to see your son at all?
No, sir.
And you have no legal rights to this child, do you?
No, sir.
So there's no paternity. Child support is voluntary, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I have counseled you about perhaps taking a DNA test?
Yes, sir.
And your response is?
He's my son. And regardless, if he's not mine, I still want to be there as his father.
Okay. At this time, I'm going to pass the witness, Mr. Martin.
All right. Any questions from the state?
No question.
All right, I have a few questions. We're all skating around an issue here, and the issue is you are here for assault, family choking, strangulation. We want to talk about his temper and what is he doing to address that issue?
Sure. Well, first off, you don't remember doing these actions, do you?
No, sir.
Okay.
Well, no.
If you do-
No, I'm sorry to interrupt you. These are questions I'm asking him.
Oh,
So,
I'm sorry, Judge.
Sorry, Your Honor.
no problem, Mr. Hayek. So, what are the issues with you and your temper?
For one, coping and by the wrong solution. As far as drinking, I've been deeply, I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous, Your Honor. Every day I go to a meeting so I can cope, sorry. Let me have it 1 second. I apologize.
Take a big breath.
This has all been a nightmare, Your Honor. Ever since I was young, I never had the tools in coping with my tempers, being.
But you've been on deferred for assault before, so they gave you tools. So my question is, why are you not using them? And why should I take a chance on giving you probation? I see from the complainant in this case, she sent you over 1,000 text messages, which I don't understand how people have time to do. Well, actually, it's 1,602 text messages. I don't know where people find the time to do that, but I see that. And I see there are issues.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to figure out, why should I give you probation and not send you to prison? Because it seems that you were on deferred adjudication for assault and it did not work. So let's not do, the feel good talk.
Okay.
Don't tell me what you think I want to hear. I'm trying to figure out what you've learned and why I should not send you to prison.
What I've learned is resentments and trying to better myself. It's bigger than myself. For our son, Jace, he's everything to me. More than that,
Time out. How old is your son?
he's 3.
All right, so you've already, when you were on probation again for assault previously, are you telling me this child wasn't in existence?
No.
You didn't have any children, didn't have any responsibilities?
I had children. I have two older children who live in California. And
So
actually,
then the fact that you have children, that's not something that is new to make you change your ways, because you've had children before.
I understand.
So why should I give you deferred adjudication or give you probation? Why should I do that?
Because right now I have a great support system. It's actually the support system that I have right now. It's it's actually working. The group that I'm in at Serendipity.
Yes.
It's changed me in my different outlooks on everything. The sponsors I have, the friends I have, just my whole support system has given me a whole different outlook. And I have a chance. If I do get a chance on probation, I have a chance back on my career. And not that that's an excuse of anything or a reason, but I have a good chance for another chance, you know.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. I'm going to deny your application for deferred adjudication. What I am going to do is I'll give you probation, but you're going to have a conviction. I'm going to put you on GPS. I'm going to note, and I want it noted for the record, that it appears that the complainant has texted, from everything that I've received, texted the defendant over 1,600 times, contacted friends of the defendant with videos, and I've read each and every one of the text messages. But Mr. Cordova, you're not going to have any contact with her. If you do, you're looking at prison. Do you understand?
I do.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to sentence you to 8 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 10 years. Take in consideration 2019 CR 8711, County Court Cause number 650358, 614372. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, $100 to a family violence center, no contact with Jordan Whitley, GPS, that'll be partial. He's allowed to work.
Is the court aware he doesn't work in Bexar County?
Where is he?
Louisiana. I'm a tugboat captain. I transport cargo in and out the river up to.
Do you live here in Texas?
At the moment, I live here in Texas. Yes,
What does
sir.
that
Yes,
mean?
ma'am.
He usually stays here with, well, he was staying with Jordan before. He stays with his mother and goes to work for a couple of weeks at a time and comes back.
All right, we'll see what we can do. We're going to do GPS tracking.
And as for the no contact order, Your Honor, I do support it, but it's going to make visitation difficult if it gets arranged.
Well, he needs to do that to some third party. He's not to have any contact with Jordan Whitley. The last name is Whitley. Proof of employment within 30 days. No employment with vulnerable persons. What that means is no employment as a home healthcare provider or where you supervise or have contact with minors. 200 hours of community service restitution, or you can pay $7.25 per hour to the San Antonio Food Bank. AA, NA meetings 3 times per week. Regular Zoom reporting or in person. Patch or random UAs. It sounds like you're going to need a patch if you're working out of town. Rebecca, is there anything else he needs?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Cordova, anything else you need from this court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
You are to have no contact with Jordan Whitley. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
From here on out, anything that you do, you need to ask yourself, is this something that can result in me going to prison for 8 years? You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the state offered you a cap of 6 punishment. They were silent on your applications for probation and silent on your applications for deferred adjudication. So the range of punishment for you is no longer the cap of 6. It is 8 years. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And also because there's an affirmative finding of family violence, and because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room so that you can go over your conditions with probation. The only time you should be coming back to this court is if you successfully complete everything. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, are we allowing him to travel to Louisiana?
For work, yes.
Okay.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Thank you, Your Honor. May be otherwise excused.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Hyatt. All right. Let me see. Jacqueline Lamerson, are you there?
I am here, Judge. I've emailed Beatrice, but I have not gotten a response back.
All right, what is your client's last name?
Matthew Roberts.
All right, Norma, on Matthew Roberts.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a PTD. Can you check on that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and then Joey Contreras, you're back?
I'm back, Judge. We had our discussion.
Yes, what is happening on Landon?
What happened is he had an ignition interlock in a vehicle that quit working on him, and he was due to get it calibrated on a vehicle that didn't work. So he got another vehicle, and on that same day, he notified us. We filed with the court a motion to transfer ignition interlock to the alternative vehicle, which you signed and granted. But he didn't go get the vehicle calibrated because it was a non-functioning vehicle. And we signed that thing with you. So that he was, I guess, reported that he didn't calibrate the vehicle, that we had the mechanical problems with. So as it stands right now, once the court signs an order, it takes a couple of days for them to get an appointment in for the calibration. They started the process, and it could be any day now on the new vehicle that you've signed an order approving.
Okay. All righty. Then thank you so much for coming in. And you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too, Your Honor.
Yes. Anton Hayek, you're here for something?
No, Your Honor, I'm trying to get off of my phone.
Okay, I'll help you with that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Ed Camara?
Judge, yeah, I'm back. I've conferred with Marcus, and we set a trial date.
Just one moment. Marcus Sanders, are you here?
Yes, Judge.
You have been given trial dates by the court coordinator?
I looked at the schedule and I asked Ed which day would he prefer, and it was October 29th. I haven't checked with Norma to see if it fits though.
Right? I get why. I'm telling you in my professional opinion, you don't have it. And I do this every day.
Let me just find where Tom is on the screen. Oh, there he is.
He's in a witness meeting right now.
Okay, he's muted. All right.
But to the extent that you feel that.
All right, Norma. On San Juan Wilson?
Yes, ma'am.
No, I'm not speaking to you.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Norma.
Yes, sir.
Brenda, I think today is going to be Monday. Even though it's Wednesday. But we're going to still put on a smile, because when you smile, it makes the day better.
Bonjour, Your Honor.
Oh, bonjour.
Not to me, Your Honor. I get suspicious when someone smiles at me.
Oh, no, you have to do a smile. What is this, the Isley brothers? I think that's the Isleys.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, on Mr. San Juan Wilson, they're saying that they would like to do a date of October 29th.
For trial?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you okay with that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're going to go on the record. Court is calling 2019 CR 4004B, State of Texas versus San Juan Wilson. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense?
Ed Kamara for the defense, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Wilson?
San Juan Wilson.
Yes, is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No objection.
All right. Mr. Kamara, have you received all the discovery in this case?
Yes, I think so.
Mr. Wilson, I just need to know, are you asking for a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your plea deadline date has expired. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements. The court will only accept pleas that are open to the court. Mr. Kamara, my understanding is that you're requesting a trial date of October 29th. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
All right, then with that, we'll see you on October 29th. Mr. Wilson, you need to be in the courtroom. It's the 187th District Court. It's on the 4th floor. It's 300 De La Rosa, and you will need to be dressed for trial. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then you and your client are excused, Mr. Kamara, unless you have someone else with us.
No,
Thank you.
thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Judge, and there's no PTD paperwork for Roberts.
All right, Mr. Lamerson, the paperwork needs to be filed. All right.
Your Honor, this is Flavio Hernandez. I was trying to log in since 20 till 9. I was having a little confusion. We do have a French interpreter. My client is present. I need a breakout with Joe Ray.
Okay, I just moved the interpreter breakout room number 1. Maria, if you'll just wait before you go to 1. And Joe Ray, can you go to breakout room number 3, please?
Yes.
And Flavio, I'll send you to 3.
Merci.
See, then I want to say Donata, but I guess I should just say decor. Sometimes it's like the French and the Spanish is so close.
They are, yes. Just de rien.
That is so true. All right, Teresa Conley, who do you have?
Priscilla Lugo, Your Honor. I did speak with Dr. Cardwell, and he believed that she was, or he spoke to me about her being that he felt she was incompetent.
All right, Norma, on Miss Lugo.
Yes, ma'am.
Has the report been tendered? Miss Lugo, can you unmute for me, please? Miss Lugo, has the doctor talked to you?
Yes.
All right, just give us a moment. Norma, can we reset this and make sure that this is set in Judge Carruthers' court?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor?
Yes.
As I understand it, there are some records from Ms. Lugo's past, some psychiatric records, and your court has them. The MAG court has told me I've got to get them from your court.
No, I do not have any of them.
You don't
I
have
would not
anything?
have records. No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
any records that are kept, the the magistrate's court would have those. And if they want the court file gets transferred to them. So they will have it. Norma, what date are we coming back on Ms. Lugo? You're on mute.
Sorry, Judge. I can set it out for August 4th.
Is that magistrate or?
No, that's for this court. Magistrate's court, since they are doing the evaluation, they will have a date that's sooner than that.
Okay, so it's,
And Ms. Conley,
yes, Your Honor.
if you have your hearing for magistrate's court and it's complete and she is able to proceed, if you'll just let us know, we'll put her on the docket sooner than that. But
Thank
that's
you.
the length of time it usually takes.
Thank you.
All right, and Norma, can you make sure that you're in touch with the magistrate's court to make sure that her case is heard, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, do you need to speak with your client, Ms. Conley?
I would like to, Your Honor, if you don't mind. And then may I be excused?
Yes, but you need to bring her back to the main room.
Thank you.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 2. And Ms. Lugo, if you could go to 2, please. George Schaefer.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, George Schaefer, who do you have?
Judge, I'm here on Jose de Leon Rodriguez.
All right, and this, we need a Spanish interpreter. Norma, what time is this scheduled for?
On which case, Judge? I'm sorry.
Jose de Leon Rodriguez. He needs a Spanish interpreter.
I can call someone. Hold on for just a moment, Judge.
All right, Mr. Schaefer, we need a Spanish interpreter. Just give us a moment.
Judge,
yes.
I don't know that my client is going to testify here. He has signed a verified motion.
We still need a Spanish interpreter, even if he's not going to testify.
Well, Judge, I can certainly interpret for my client.
I appreciate that, but we need a Spanish interpreter. That's the law. Just give us a moment. Mr. Cantrell, who are you here for?
Judge, sorry about that. I'm here for Anthony Ortiz to give you an update on the fingerprint analysis.
Yes.
And what I've been told is that he should have it ready by Monday of next week.
All right, just give me a moment. Teresa Davila, I'm going to send you to the breakout room number 3.
Okay, Judge. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And you say it'll be ready by Monday?
Yes, ma'am.
Norma, can you recall Mr. Anthony Ortiz for Friday of next week? Is that possible?
Friday of next week? Yes, ma'am. The 25th?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you back on the 25th. Please make sure that those results are given to the state if you intend to give them to that state. And on that date, I'm going to give you your plea deadline date.
Okay. Thank you very much, Your Honor. May
All
I
right,
be
thank you.
excused?
Yes, you and your client are excused.
Thank you.
Brenda, do you see what page Mr. Ortiz is on?
He's on the recall, Judge.
All right, thank you. No.
No.
All right, and then Norma, we have Adam Flores here. He says that he is not the attorney for Daniel Garza.
I'll check on that.
Thank you.
Judge, this is Robert Maurer. I'm sorry I'm back from the 290th. I just needed to check and see if CTD had gotten a restitution amount for Devontae Hemphill.
Okay, just give me one moment.
Yes, ma'am. Then I need to talk to Dave Martin about Antonio Casablanca.
All right, let's do first thing first. Let's have you talk to David about Mr. Casablanca. David and Robert Maurer, are you in the courtroom?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let me see. Courtroom, if you could go to breakout room number 5, and David Martin, if you could go to 5, please. Yes, Teresa Conley?
Your Honor, yes. And we have conferred. May I be excused now?
Yes, Norma, Lugo is still in breakout room number 2. Can you let them know that L18 can go back? Thank you, Ms. Conley.
Thank
you. Scott Hill, who do you have?
Good morning, Judge. I was just typing you a message. I've got Abigail Torres, Abigail Villegas-Taurus.
All right, is it criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal trial, Judge, and I've been conferring with Tom. If I could get a breakout room with him, that'd be great.
I'll see you in breakout room number 6.
Yeah, I can help. I think he's in a witness meeting.
All right, thank you. All right, Dirk Ashbaugh.
Good morning, Judge. How are you doing?
Great. How's it going?
Very good, Judge. I have Adelano Carrillo, and it's a violation report, Judge, and I've resolved that already. There was a miscommunication with County Court 5 coordinator. I had asked for a reset, and she, I guess, didn't get my emails. The warrant has been recalled, and the FTA was incorrectly issued, Judge, and that was the only violation report for my guy. So.
That is true. All right, have you had a chance to confer with the state on these offenses?
No, Judge, I haven't. If you'd like me to, I can talk to somebody before I go.
Yes, because you're not excused yet, so confer with them. And I need to see, is your client here?
No, Judge, because this was just this was a complete mistake. There never should have been a violation report or anything.
But
you can have court or anything.
I have a violation report, so he needs to zoom in.
But I called him. He didn't call me back yesterday, Judge. So he's not here, and I haven't talked to him.
He needs to zoom in. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4. And a prosecutor will meet you there. All right, is there any other attorney whose name I have not called or that is ready? Okay.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. Judge, I represent Jose Zamora. Mr. David Martin and I have completed all the paperwork, and my client needs to be sworn in. So we can get this plea finished.
I haven't received any paperwork. Has it been push through? Because I haven't signed any paperwork from Mr. Zamora.
David Martin, 2 minutes ago, assured me that he filed all the paperwork with the clerk.
Okay, well, let me send you to a breakout room. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2.
Do I need to speak to the clerk about the receipt of the paperwork?
I'm sending the clerk to number 2 as well.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you,
You're
Judge.
welcome. All right, to the clerk, if you can go to number 2, please. Robert Maurer, you're pacing in the courtroom.
Judge, I pace as part of my cultural heritage. We paced across we paced across most of Europe in the 30s too. It was just a bad German thing.
Okay.
Oh, there's David.
Hey.
Judge, this is the interpreter here. I'm asking for authorization from the 3rd floor to see if they allow me to help you in Spanish because I cannot do it.
Oh,
just
thank you so much. You're so awesome.
I just told them, thank you. I just told them that you were waiting and that I'm here. So, but I have to wait for them to say yes. So if they do, I'll let you know.
Thank you, Maria. You're so awesome. You just have brightened up the day of this Wednesday again.
Thank you, Judge. I'm glad I can do that.
Oh. Barbara Paulison, are you still here?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, can I see you in a breakout room, please? Breakout
Certainly.
room number 7.
Absolutely.
And everyone, just give me a moment. And please remember, this is all being broadcast live, so be on your best behavior. Aaron, just one. All right, everyone, I am back. Flavio Hernandez.
Yes, Your Honor. Joe Ray will be refiling. We will come back when he has a summons to bring my client back. And we'll resolve this at our next hearing. I would like to.
When you say refiling, what do you mean? Is it going to be a misdemeanor or?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Judge.
So is this going to be taken, well, then it'll be taken care in the misdemeanor court, correct?
That's right, Judge. And once it's filed, these cases will be taken care of.
All right. So of course you all know, I love to hear French. I like Spanish too. So let me do this.
Très bien, mon ami.
Okay, Flavio, it doesn't sound the same coming from you. I'm not picking up on the accent.
Everyone is picking up a French because of this case. I like it.
Okay, let me see where your client is. Oh, I'm trying to find Mr. Sakala. Where is he?
Olu Sakala.
Yeah, he was on the screen. I think there may have been an issue. Okay, let me see. Okay, I think your client, Mr. Sakala, are you there? I think he may have been dropped off.
Monsieur Sekala, où il est? Est-ce que vous êtes là?
Oh, wow. Well, you'll be able to let your client know, Mr. Hernandez?
Oui.
Okay, so because my mom loves French too. Everyone say hi to Mom, Maria.
Bonjour, maman de Madame la juge.
All right, so my understanding, and if you could interpret, Maria, is that this case is going to be refiled as a misdemeanor?
Alors, selon je comprends, ce cas va être reprocessé en tant qu'un délit mineur.
Okay, then thank you everyone for coming. Merci beaucoup. Thank you, Teresa, for coming in.
Thank you, Teresa.
You're welcome. Thank all of y'all. Have a good day.
Do we have a date that I could write on my calendar for the next hearing or not?
Because Flavio and Joe Ray, this will be the French interpreter. So if you all can let her know or give her some sort of time frame so she can,
if you don't, that's fine. Available. You can do it through Norma in the third floor, but I just, so that I can book it from now.
I have your email, Maria.
Yes, you do.
Okay, I'll send you an email on what I expect will happen.
Okay, perfect. Merci, Monsieur Hernandez.
Oh, thank you. Can you send me the email too, just so that I can try to be there as well?
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
I will.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys so much. You guys made this Wednesday a great Wednesday.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Bonne journée.
All right. Is there anyone else who is ready? We have the Spanish interpreter for George Schaefer. Is your client in the courtroom? All right, George, is your client in the courtroom?
He is, Your Honor.
All right, what is your client's name?
My client is named Jose de Leon Rodriguez.
Okay, let me pull this file. Who is the prosecutor on this?
Judge, the prosecutor was Oscar Salinas, I want to say.
Let me see if we can get Oscar Salinas in here. Can one of the prosecutors call Mr. Oscar Salinas and have him zoom on, please?
Judge, I've been trying to get a hold of him and he hasn't answered. I can see if I can get someone else from that division.
All right, sorry, Mr. Schaefer, just give us a moment. We're going to have the person from that division come and address this issue.
All of this to say, okay, your motion's granted.
George Schaefer, it has to be done legally.
I understand, Your Honor.
So everyone needs to put some patience in their pocket. And if people are going to whisper, you need to whisper and make sure that people don't hear you.
La souris sur la table, c'est sur la branche.
Yeah. And
Judge,
if people are going to speak Spanish, they need to make sure that the person that they're speaking Spanish to doesn't understand it. I can understand Spanish, but I'm just not good at speaking it.
except that
Brenda,
was French.
Brenda, you know what I've discovered? I've discovered Spanish, French, Italian. Those languages are all sort of like the same. The only difference is like some of them you put the O at the end, but it's like all the same.
Portuguese, Romanian, don't forget them. They're also Romance languages.
Now, I didn't say anything about it being a Romance language. I'm just, saying they're all the same.
Because they arrive from the same origin.
Okay, let me see. Oscar Salinas, you're here?
Yes, Judge. Sorry, I'm actually in a few other Zooms. Me? Yes.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
All right, I need to see your client.
Pásale, por favor.
All right, let's go on the record on Ms. Barrientos.
Párate aquí para que te pueda ver la jueza.
Hello, Norma.
Hello, Judge. Good morning.
Good morning. People are trying to make today a Monday, but I'm keeping it as a Wednesday. And the interpreters that are being brought, you guys are making it a Wednesday instead of a Monday. I really appreciate all the help.
My pleasure, Judge.
Thank you. And we don't have the capability to do the interpretation because he's in the courtroom and it takes a lot of extra work to make it happen. So we're just going to do it old school.
Is this a plea, Your Honor?
No, it's not a plea. It's a motion to withdraw a plea.
Okay.
And it's Jose.
Do you want me to go to the courtroom? I can run to the courtroom.
Oh, no, that's fine. Mr. Schaefer is losing. Mr. Schaefer doesn't have much patience in his pocket.
Oh, okay.
Your Honor,
Okay.
I think we can make this much easier. I will tell you that when I looked at this case, after I pled it out initially, and then Mr. Schaefer got on, he pointed some things out to me as far as discovery. So I obviously have the hard copy file with all the discovery in it. When I looked on e-discovery, there was a wrong number that was keyed in. So the prior attorney would not have had all the discovery that would have been sent over from PD.
Okay, so is there?
The state's position would be that he should be allowed to withdraw the plea.
Well, I understand what you're saying,
Okay.
but we have to put everything on the record.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Do people have something, Brenna? People are acting like they're not liking you. They don't want anything on the record. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 8207 Jose De Leon Rodriguez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Ok, se llama la causa 2020 CR 8207, el Estado contra José de León Rodríguez. Por favor, las partes preséntense.
All right, can I have the parties announced for the state?
Oscar Salinas for State, Texas.
George Schaefer for defendant, Your Honor.
Y por el Estado se encuentra el señor Oscar Salinas y por parte de la defensa, el señor George Schaefer.
All right, we have an interpreter here, Norma Nero. Ms. Nero, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and from Spanish into English, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. We're here on defendant's motion to withdraw plea.
Nos encontramos aquí para una moción para retirar la declaración del acusado.
State, have you had a chance to review the motion?
Y Estado ha tenido tiempo para revisar la moción.
No, I have not.
No, su señoría.
You haven't reviewed the motion to withdraw?
No, I didn't get served with one. I didn't see one in my email, and I didn't see any motion. But
No, su señoría, porque no la he recibido, no he checado mis correos electrónicos.
Mr. Salinas, do you still wish to proceed even though you have not reviewed the motion?
Y señor
Yes.
Salinas todavía desea continuar, aunque usted no ha recibido la moción. Sí.
All right. Defense, it's your motion.
Judge, in light of the state's position that they think that the motion should be granted, we can waive a lot of other argument or matters.
Su señoría, en vista de que la defensa no ha recibido la moción, nosotros podemos renunciar a otros asuntos.
Judge, that's not what I said.
I'm sorry.
That's not an accurate translation.
All right, here's the thing,
apologize.
I'm sorry, just one moment. Here's the thing, Mr. Schaefer. One, you need to speak up. You need to slow down. Two, everyone needs to be polite because I demand that everyone is polite in this courtroom. Everyone needs to put some patience in the pocket because guess what? Today is Wednesday. It's not Monday. I don't think anyone can expect an interpreter to accurately translate if they cannot hear what's being said because everybody's mumbling. And Ms. Nero, you don't have to translate this part. Everybody's mumbling. Everybody acts as though the record is like kryptonite and nobody wants to put anything on the record. In this court, everything goes on the record. So if somebody wants to come back and say, well, this was said or that was said, guess what? We go to the record. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to start. Everybody's going to put patience in their pocket and everybody's going to be polite. And if you need to pull some patience out of your pocket, then pull it out. And everybody needs to speak up. So now we're back with the interpreter. So defense, this is your motion to withdraw his plea. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Your Honor, since we are going to do this the old-fashioned, may I just say that when you say something, ask a question, it has to stop there so I can interpret that before the attorney answers yes. So
Yes.
that, and so I'm just asking Mr. Schaefer to please just, we're not doing this with the function, so it's a little bit different. So if I was in the courtroom, I will be doing it simultaneously as well with with the way we do it with the function. So I'm just asking to please, I should have asked for the repetition. So just please just speak slow and give me the time to interpret what every person says before they answer to that question.
All right. Thank you, Norma.
So-
I appreciate that. And I apologize.
Thank you, Your Honor. And the judge's question was, I do understand defensa, yo entiendo que esta es una moción para retirar la declaración del acusado. Y la respuesta es sí, su señoría.
Okay. And what is the reason for your request to withdraw his plea?
¿Y cuál es, I'm sorry, y cuál es la razón para la solicitud de retirar la declaración?
Judge, as set out in a verified petition,
Y como se mencionó en una petición verificada,
the defendant had an attorney prior to my being appointed.
el acusado tuvo un abogado antes de que yo fuera asignado.
who withdrew because he was unable to speak Spanish,
quien se retiró porque él no hablaba español,
which is why I was appointed to begin with.
y por lo cual yo fui asignado a él.
The bottom line, Judge, is that the defendant entered into his plea
Lo importante aquí, su señoría, es que el acusado entró en este acuerdo y se declaró.
His plea was involuntarily and inadvertently made,
Y su declaración fue involuntaria y hecha inadvertidamente,
and that the defendant was not fully aware of the consequences of his plea,
y el acusado no estaba totalmente consciente de las consecuencias de su declaración,
and that the defendant lacked a full, fair, and deliberate understanding of what his plea would involve.
Could you repeat that, Mr. Schaefer?
The defendant lacked a full, fair, and deliberate understanding of
Y
what
que el
his plea would involve.
Y que el acusado no tenía un entendimiento justo de lo que involucraba su declaración.
Lastly, Judge, again, we will note that the state does not want to oppose the granting of this request.
Y una vez más, su señoría, nosotros estamos diciendo, could you repeat that, Mr. Schaefer?
Lastly, Judge, the state has acknowledged that they believe this request should be granted by the court.
Y su señoría, una vez más, por último, es que el Estado está de acuerdo en que esta moción sea concedida por su señoría.
State, any objections to the defense's motion to withdraw plea?
Estado, ¿tiene usted algo que decir acerca de la moción de la defensa para retirar la declaración?
You are muted.
Sorry,
I'm sorry, the interpreter needs to make a correction. Estado, ¿tiene usted alguna objeción a que la defensa retire la moción de la defensa de retirar la declaración del acusado?
So that is correct, sir. That is correct, Judge. The state does not object if the basis for the withdrawal is that the defendant could not communicate.
I'm sorry, Mr. Salinas. Can you please just make pauses?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
The state does not oppose.
El Estado no se opone.
If the basis for the withdrawal
Si las bases de retirar la declaración
was that the defendant could not communicate
fueron de que el acusado no se pudo comunicar
with his prior attorney,
con su abogado anterior.
and that was acknowledged because that prior attorney withdrew,
Y eso se reconoce porque el abogado anterior se retiró
prior to formal sentencing because he was unable to speak Spanish with a Spanish-speaking defendant.
antes de la sentencia formal debido a que él no hablaba en español y el acusado es una persona que su idioma natal es el español.
And now the state will work with Mr. Schaefer to make sure that we could reach either a resolution or a trial on this case.
Y el Estado está dispuesto a trabajar con el señor Schaefer, ya sea para llegar a una resolución o irnos a juicio.
Thank you.
Gracias.
All right. The court will note for the record, one,
Este tribunal anota para que conste en el acta, uno,
the previous attorney, Ivan Friedman,
el abogado anterior, Ivan Friedman,
yes,
Okay.
was supplied with a Spanish interpreter
se le proporcionó o se le facilitó un intérprete en español
and also given a immigration attorney
y también se le facilitó un abogado de migración
to go over the case with him and Mr. De Leon.
para revisar el caso con él y el señor de León.
The court will note both arguments from the state and the defense.
Este tribunal va a anotar ambos argumentos, tanto del Estado como de la defensa.
And even though there's no order attached to the defense's motion for the court to sign,
Y aunque no hay un documento anexo a la I'm sorry, Your Honor, could you repeat that for the interpreter?
yes, even though there's no order attached to the defense's motion,
Y aunque no hay una orden anexa a la moción de la defensa,
the court will grant the motion
este tribunal va a conceder esta moción
and sign it.
y lo va a firmar también.
Norma, on Mr. De Leon, can we have a 30-day reset, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Norma, en el caso del señor de León, podemos tener una postergación de 30 días, sí, su señoría.
July 23rd.
We will be back here on July 23rd at 9 a.m.
Vamos a regresar aquí en julio 23 a las 9 de la mañana.
Mr. Rodriguez, you can appear in person or by Zoom.
Y señor Rodríguez, usted puede comparecer en persona o vía Zoom.
All right. Is there anything else from either side?
¿Hay algo
No,
más
Judge.
por alguna de las partes?
Judge, I would like to suggest to the court, I will bring you a written order for you to sign granting
Su
the
señor-
motion.
Su señoría, yo sugiero que le voy a traer una orden por escrito ya que se concedió, ya que se ha concedido la moción.
All right, thank you. If there's nothing else, we'll close the record.
Gracias. Si no hay nada más, se cierra el acta.
Judge, I also want to apologize to the interpreter. I should have taken my mask off at some time prior to talking. I understand that I've been vaccinated, that I'm probably safe, but I should have still taken my mask off.
That. So far, the motions that have been filed do not.
All right, who is that? Okay. All right, Mr. Schaefer, you can continue with your apology to the interpreter.
Judge, I just want to apologize. I should have taken the mask off where she could understand what it was I was saying. So I apologize. Discúlpeme, por favor.
Gracias, señor Schaefer.
And what about me? What about Brenna? Taking everything down. All right, I'll see you, Mr. Schaefer, with your order.
May we be excused.
Yes, you're excused.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
You too.
Oscar, we'll be in touch.
Ms. Nero, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Brenda, do you see what page he is on?
Page 15.
All right, thank you.
Third page, 17 golf.
All right, anyone else back from breakout rooms?
Judge, I'm back. My client had faxed in his PTD application. It did not make it to Beatrice. So
Yes.
I have refilled it out and sent it to her directly myself.
All right, Norma, on Matthew Roberts. Can we give them a reset date for PTD update, please?
Yes, ma'am. 1 second.
Judge, may I announce on one of my cases with you?
Yes, just give me one moment, please.
Yes, ma'am.
They can come back on. They can come back on the 20th, Judge.
All right, we'll see you back on June 20th to see where we
No,
are.
July 20th.
July 20th, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
All right.
very good. May we be excused, Judge?
Yes, you're excused.
Thank you.
Yes, Robert Maurer.
Yes, Antonio Casablanca, I've conferred with Dave. He's going to leave the offer of a misdemeanor deferred open, but he's going to make one last attempt to talk to the complainant about the allegations. So that may resolve the case, but if you can give me one more setting, and he's going to leave the offer of a misdemeanor open.
When is this going to take place?
Judge, I mean, it's their complainant they have to talk to. I gave him a copy of the protective order that they were both involved in on the separate civil case that he needs to talk to this young lady, and I'll use that term with a lot of sarcasm, about the allegations.
All right, Norma, on David Martin?
Yeah.
Yes. How much time do you need on Antonio Casablanca?
Well, Robert just gave me the case number for the protective order and everything, so I gotta look that up and get that. If we do maybe 3 weeks, 30 days.
All right, Norma, can you give them a 30-day reset, please?
Yes, ma'am. What are they coming back for? I'm sorry, Judge.
What we're going to do with the case?
Yes, they're going to speak with the complainant, and that may resolve itself.
Okay, we can come back on a Friday. I can do it on the 23rd of July.
I'm out on the 19th to the 27th.
Okay.
Robert Mile World Fishing Tour. So if we could do before that or after that.
We can do it on the 30th.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so July 30th?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll be here.
All right, we will see you all then.
And Judge, I need to confer with CTD about Devonta Hemphill.
All right, just give me one moment.
I have down Hunter is who I was talking to.
Okay. Let me change this. All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, and the parties on Jose Zamora, are you here? Ready? Jose Zamora.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here. Let me just get Mr. Ibarra. He's just right out the door right here.
All right, thank you. And David Martin, are you in charge of this?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's just one quick little line we need to make on the plea bargain page. And we're ready to go.
Okay, what line?
The box is checked that says affirmative finding a deadly weapon or an offense not eligible for judge-ordered community supervision.
Mm-hmm.
We just need to strike the affirmative finding of a deadly weapon or, and just make it known that it's an offense not eligible for judge-ordered community supervision.
Okay, got it.
Then that's all.
All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 3689, State of Texas versus Jose Zamora. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
David Martin.
For the defense?
Floyd Barrera Jr.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state or the defense?
Not from the state.
I think Roy is frozen.
None from the defense.
All right. Your screen is frozen, I think. Are you Jose Zamora?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Counsel, I'm showing you what's entitled Discovery Acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mrs. Zamora, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, I do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We're not, Judge. We're going to proceed on the lesser included offense of indecency with a child by contact.
Any objections?
None.
Mrs. Zamora, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review this document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
All right, just one moment. All right, everyone, I'm sorry about that. We're back on the record. Is Mr. Barrera there, Mr. Zamora? Hi.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. All right, sorry about that, everyone.
Judge, real quick before we get back started,
Yes.
I was looking through the paperwork and not sure exactly what happened, but on the judicial confession part, we do need to change the offense date from on or about the 4th day of April 2019. It should be on or about the 15th day of April 1998.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
It should be the 15th of April 1998. And that's the date that's in the indictment.
All right, Mrs. Zamora, do you have any objections to the court changing that in the paperwork?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then, Mrs. Zamora, what you're charged with is indecency with a child contact. That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense? I'm sorry?
Yes, he has.
Okay. Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, I do.
You believe he is currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mrs. Zamora, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
I'm sorry? Has anyone threatened you or placed you in fear or coerced you to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of indecency with a child contact. State is recommending deferred adjudication, taking into consideration 2020 CR 3690 and Chapter 62 compliance. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you understand that this is a lifetime registration?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is this the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Defense, I'm sorry, state, is this the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, sir.
Next, Mrs. Zamora, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counselor, have there been any such motions?
I didn't hear you, Judge.
Have there been any such motions?
No.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement, Mr. Zamora. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 5 years. There be no contact with Jennifer Cruz, Alexis Cruz, or any minor children. Did you understand that those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offense of indecency with the child contact, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
State, do you have any evidence to support the defendant's no contest plea?
We'll offer states one with the attachments.
Any objections?
None, Judge.
Mrs. Zamora, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court is deferring finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, you are. We are.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Judge. My client has been a lifelong resident of San Antonio, Texas, has been gainfully employed his entire life, is married, enjoys an excellent reputation in the community in which he has lived his entire life. And he is most deserving of the plea bargain that's been entered into by him and the state of Texas. And he is requesting the court follow the plea bargaining agreement.
All right. Is your client employed, retired? What is he doing?
He is temporarily unemployed, awaiting employment.
So, Mr. Cruz, who lives in the home with you? Are there any children in the home?
You said Mr. Cruz.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading a document.
Yeah.
That has the child, that has
Yeah.
the name of the complainant.
Yeah.
Mr. Zamora, are there any children who live in the home with you?
No, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, what?
No, Your Honor.
So
No.
what are you doing with your spare time since you're not employed?
Well, I'm under, so I'm not able to leave.
He has been under house arrest since he was released on bond. And we're asking that that condition of his bond now be removed so he can go out and look for a job.
All right, State, do you have any objections to the removal of the GPS?
We'll leave that up to the court, but on the no contact orders, Judge,
Yes.
the victim in the case is being TIC is Jessica Cruz. We could get that one ordered as well.
Okay. All right. So this is what the court is going to do. Court will sentence you to 5 years deferred adjudication. Take in consideration 2020-3690. No contact with Jennifer Cruz, Alexis Cruz, Jessica Cruz, or any minors. Proof of employment within 30 days. No employment with vulnerable people. So that means that you can't be a home health care provider or any employment that involves minors. GPS tracking only for 3 months. And then Mr. Barrera, if he does good with that, you can come back to the court and the court will consider removing it.
Thank you, Judge.
Well, Mr. Zamora, are you able to Zoom or no?
Well, yes, right now I'm here at the
No, I mean, your attorney is not going to be reporting to probation with you, I don't think. I'm making assumptions, but
yes, probably my phone, I probably can do that, yes.
Mr. Barrera, do you think your client will be able to Zoom?
I have no doubt he can Zoom from his phone.
All right, so I'll do regular Zoom reporting or in person. So Mr. Zamora, if you're not able to Zoom or figure it out how to do it on your phone, you're going to have to report in person. Do you understand?
I understand, Your Honor.
There'll be regular UAs. I'm going to want random field visits. Two times per month. And Mr. Zamora, you can do either regular UAs or either you can get the patch. The patch costs more, but the patch places less of a time constraint on you. Rebecca, is there anything else he needs?
No, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Zamora, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Zamora, I'm going to show you what's entitled trial court certification. Oh, I'm sorry. One thing I did not add, there's to be Chapter 62 compliance. Mrs. Zamora, I'm showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you
Yes, I did.
electronically sign it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Zamora, here's what you should be thinking about. While you're on deferred adjudication out of this court, every decision you make, you need to ask yourself one question. And that question needs to be, are these actions that I'm taking something that could result in me potentially going to prison for 20 years? You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room probation. We'll go over conditions with you. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2.
Judge, before you send them, there's victim impact.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Who would like to speak?
My father and I. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. What is the name, please?
Jessica Cruz.
How are you listed on the Zoom, please?
Victor Cruz.
All right, Mr. Zamora, this is the time for victim impact. I require, as you probably can tell in this court, I require that everyone treats everyone with respect. You understand? So
Yes,
just
John.
listen to what's being said and internalize it. All right, you may proceed.
Can my father go first?
Yes.
I just want you to know that the actions you've taken have greatly affected not only my family, but other families as well. We cannot get back the time that we had with Jessie as far as she was, you know, going in and out of mental hospitals because of the things that have been done. Honestly, I should probably stop right now because everything else will not come out kind. So I'm gonna go ahead and let Jessie talk.
All right, Jessica,
Yes, ma'am.
you may proceed.
I didn't have anything prepared today, so I wish that I could be the bigger person and to say that I forgive you, but I don't. And I am so angry and so upset that I have to suffer for your mistakes every day. I still dream about it every night. And I want to be free from all this, and I don't ever want to see you again or to hear of you or to hear your name again. It's like, yeah.
All right, is there any other victim impact?
No, ma'am.
All right.
That's all, Judge.
All right, Mr. and Mrs. Cruz, Miss Jessica Cruz and Victor Cruz, thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Judge.
Can you put me in a breakout room with them, please?
Yes, if you all will stay to the cruises, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1 and the advocate will join you there.
Okay.
Okay.
And David, do you need to go to 1? All right. Then Mr. Zamora, if you'll go to breakout room number 2, please. And Rebecca, if you'll go to 2. And then Daniel Garza, could you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Garza, we've had an attorney appointed for you. His name is going to be Jesse Sanchez. Norma, when are we bringing Mr. Garza back?
Let me check the calendar real quick, Judge. Give me 1 second, I'm sorry. Judge, I can bring him back on the 23rd.
I go to trial in August.
Is that June 23rd?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Garza, we're going to bring you back on June 23rd.
Okay, ma'am.
And you'll have an attorney here.
That'll work, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Norma, can you let them know 14D can go back, please?
Yes, ma'am, of course.
Your Honor, Joseph Acevedo, may I approach briefly?
Just give me 1 moment, Mr.
Yes, Your
Acevedo.
Honor.
I'll take it. I'll take the program. I'll take the encouragement, the monitoring, but I would like to see our bill. I'd like to better our bill.
I can go back, Miss Judge Boyd.
Yes, but just remain there, Mr. Garza, because what's
Okay.
going to end up happening is they don't like you to move around.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
someone will pick
Understood.
you up.
I
All
understand.
right, thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Have a great Wednesday. Thanks for being patient.
Thank you, ma'am.
Are you talking to?
No, I'm done.
All right, Joseph Acevedo.
Yes, Your Honor. We have a plea subject to court approval. However, may we be excused till 2:30 to do the plea?
All right, Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
can we have Mr. Acevedo back this afternoon for his plea?
Yes, ma'am.
All
May
right.
we both be excused and be back at 2:30, Your Honor?
Yeah, Mr. Acevedo,
Yes.
can you just send us your client's email address?
I did send it to Hunter.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Dirk, you and your client.
Mr. Carrillo, are you on? Adelano Carrillo? Are you there?
Yes.
Is this
there we go,
the
Judge.
real one?
Yes. Judge, the real Adelano Carrillo can stand up. Yes, he's here, Judge. Like I said, Judge, earlier, we're here on this violation report. It was a clerical mistake by Patty, the coordinator in County Court 5. I'd sent her several emails about resetting that case that she had missed. I talked to her yesterday. She agreed that that was a mistake. The case has been reset and the warrant has been recalled. So there's no issue as far as that, Judge. And I did confer with Hunter, and
Yes.
he needs to get in touch with the complaining witness before we do anything on the case, Judge. So we're just asked that this case be reset, and Hunter can let me know after he talks to them.
All right. So, Mr. Ashbaugh, we don't do the pre-hearings in here. So if you want it set on the docket, you'll have to request that.
Yeah, we don't need it set, Judge. I just wanted to update you on kind of what was going on.
All right. Thank you for your patience, Dirk. Have a great rest of your Wednesday.
Okay, thank you, Judge. So Mr. Carrillo and I are excused, correct?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Carrillo, if you could please call my office and give me a good phone number, a better phone number contact for you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Patrick Valentine.
Yes, Judge.
Yes. You had a second case with us. It is Maxwell Jordan. That's the case involving the writ.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So Barbara Paulison was here. Matt Howard wasn't. So we're going to recall it for June 25th. Is that a good day for you?
25th that'd be fine, Judge.
Okay. All right. So we will see you then on the 25th. And your client wasn't ordered, of course.
No, he has not been bench warranted.
Okay. All right. We'll see you on the 25th.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you so much.
And Judge, do I need to bench warrant him?
Mr. Valentine, would you like him back, or are you okay with him zooming in?
I'm okay with him zooming in. I think that'd be fine if that's technical.
All right. The only thing, when they're in custody at the prison, they don't have the cameras, so it'll just be through a landline, if you're okay with that.
Let's leave it like that for now, and I'll call Norma later today if I change my mind.
Okay. All right. Thank you. You're excused. John Winter.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. Who do you have?
I've got Jesus Gonzalez, and he's in custody. And if I could be placed in a breakout room with him, he's set for sentencing this morning.
John, did you need an interpreter to go with you?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine as far as that goes, but we will need an interpreter for the sentencing.
Okay.
All right. I'll send you to breakout room number 3.
Oh, is Oscar Cantu here?
No.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. So I'm sending you both to number 3.
Okay.
All right. Anyone else ready?
Your Honor, this is Attorney Apple. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Leon Small, you're coming back at 2:30. All right, Carla Long, who are you here for? You're muted.
The Kepharts against Gonzalez.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Thank you. I'm trying to see who everyone is on the screen and make sure we have not missed anyone. And Lori Teague, who are you waiting on? You're muted, miss.
Sorry. I'm also here with that same case.
All right, just give us a moment. Jason Goss.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm here for Patrick. He's in the 226. We have Lazarus Davila and Jacob Garcia discovery check-in.
All right, Lazarus Davila has been taken care of.
Perfect.
And then the discovery on Jacob Garcia. Have you received discovery, or is there some other discovery?
So the last time we were here, what we're really talking about, I guess, is body cam and other videos like that. We have received some new photos of the scene. I had also requested a legible copy of the SANE and the colposcope pictures that were taken during the SANE exam.
All right, just give me a moment.
And Judge, I have the SANE right here. I make a photocopy of it and leave it on the 5th floor window along with the photos and the body cams, whatever they have available, or they'll be uploaded into Veripic.
Okay. So is there any other outstanding discovery other than that?
I do not believe so, Your Honor. I presume that once we're able to view all the other things, if there's something else, I'll talk to David about it.
Okay. All right, so on this case, Norma, can we recall this case in 30 days?
Yes, ma'am. Give me 1 second, Judge. Oh, come on. I can do July 22nd, Judge.
All right, we'll be back on July 22nd. At that time, if I can have the state, will you be able to tender an offer at that time?
Yes, I should.
All right, so we'll come back on your case on, I'm sorry, what date? Someone came in. July 22nd. All right, if there's nothing else, you are excused. We'll see you and your client will need to be here by Zoom at 9 a.m. on July 22nd.
I understand. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Eduardo Jimenez.
Sorry for the delay. I have Jesse Jason Gonzalez today. And Tom, I'll be coming either today or tomorrow with that Tetra drive. Yeah, okay, thanks.
All right, you say Jesse Jason Gonzalez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, why on the docket does it have Juan Aguilera? Were you hired, Mr. Jimenez?
On Jesse Jason Gonzalez? Is that
yes.
Yes, I was, Your Honor.
Okay. Norma, can you check to see if a notice of retained counsel has been submitted?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you hired on all 3 cases?
Yes, Your Honor. It is possible that maybe one of my notices got rejected and I haven't seen the rejection yet, or that I neglected to file into one of the cases, but Jesse Jason Gonzalez's intention was to hire me in all his cases.
All right, and actually there are 4.
4 of them, okay.
All right, and all of them are, well, 2 are motions to revoke and the other 2 are intoxication cases.
Okay.
All right, Norma, on Mr. Jesse Jason Gonzalez, can you give them a 30-day reset, please, for discovery?
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am.
You're welcome.
They can come back on the 23rd.
Okay. Okay, I wrote it down. Thank you so much.
All right, and Norma, he has 4 cases, so I know there's only 2 that are on the docket, the motions to revoke. Do you need to speak with your client, Mr. Jimenez?
No, Your Honor. I'm in touch with his father, and I'll see him in the jail this weekend.
All right. Is Jesus Abraham Gonzalez-Moreno? Could you raise your hand for me, please? Because we have more than one Gonzalez. All right, 14-0 Gonzalez. What is your name?
That's Jesus Gonzalez, Judge. 140 is Jesus Gonzalez.
All right, Norma, can you let them know that 14E can go back?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Jimenez, we will see you on the 23rd.
All right. Thank you so much, Judge. Goodbye now.
All right, thank you.
Hunter, can we go in a breakout room, please?
Just one moment. Who do you need in the breakout room, Mr. Mauer?
Hunter, Judge, I had to go to County Court 8. I was summoned, but I need to confer with Hunter.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Thank you.
Anyone else ready? John Winter, you're back.
Yeah, Judge, we're ready. We're ready whenever you are.
Okay. Norma, if I can have an interpreter for John's client. And to the clerks, I'm signing the paperwork on Abigail Villegas. And John, as soon as we get the interpreter, we will get it back.
Okay, Judge.
Judge, it'll be a few minutes.
All right, thank you. All right, everyone, just give me a moment. And who is Abigail Torres? To the clerks, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6. Please swear that person in.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Villegas, please go to breakout room number 7 so you can be sworn in. right, everyone. John Winter, I hope you still have patience in your pocket. Do you still have patience in your pocket?
Judge, I keep a ready supply.
Okay. All right. And your client, what is his full name?
Jesus Gonzalez-Moreno.
All right, let me pull his file. I don't know what's going on here today because I don't have that file. So let me walk and get that from the clerks. And it's a great thing that I'm walking because I'll get some steps in. Look on the bright side. I'll be right back. Okay, we are back.
Yes. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Carmen. How's it going?
It's going well, thank you.
Norma?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you make sure that at the jail they put him on the right channel?
Yes, ma'am.
Who's the prosecutor on this case, please?
Tom.
All right. All right, let me add the interpreter. Okay, and if everybody can make sure, if Mr. Gonzalez can unmute for me, please. And if everyone else, yes. Yes.
Oh, sí. Sí.
Oh, no problem. That is awesome. Let me make sure my computer is working. All right. The court is calling 2019 CR 9523 and 2019 CR 9524, State of Texas versus Jesus Abraham Gonzalez-Moreno. We're proceeding with an interpreter. If I could have the interpreter, if you would raise your hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and from Spanish into English, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. And could you state your name for the record, please? And could I have parties announced for the record, please? For the state?
Tom Nisbet.
For the defense?
John Winter. And Judge, could I really ask real quickly, on the translator button, what do I need to have it on?
You need to put it on English.
Okay, so I'm good.
Yes. All right, and are you Mr. Jesus Abraham Gonzalez-Moreno?
Sí.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez, do you have any objection with us proceeding by video?
No.
And the court will note for the record. Just one moment. I think another court took this plea. Is that correct? Another judge took the plea in this case?
I don't remember.
I don't recall. It might have been Tessa Her, Judge.
All right, and I say that because it's not noted in the file that a plea, there's nothing on the docketing sheet. So this plea would have been done on May 14th. Defense counsel. And each of these cause numbers, is it correct that the judge who accepted this plea found that there was the defendant guilty in each of these cause numbers?
Yes, Judge. She did find that there was sufficient evidence to of his guilt, and then she deferred everything else until the sentencing today.
All right. And in each of these cause numbers, did your client enter a plea of guilty or no contest?
No contest.
Okay. Everyone, just give me one moment, please. All right, then in each of these cause numbers, the court will note that on May 14th, that the plea was taken by video. According to the plea bargain agreement in each of these cases, punishment is to be assessed at 10 years in the prison. The state opposes the defendant's applications. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report in each of these cause numbers?
Judge, I'm not sure that's right. I think it should be 12 opposed in 19 CR 9524.
For some reason,
And
the
then
12 was crossed out by someone and it was replaced with 10 years.
And Judge, what it is it is 12 opposed on the manslaughter case and 10 opposed on the intox assault case.
Is that correct? State?
Are you asking me, Judge?
Yes.
Yes.
Taxi
yes,
driver.
Case ending 9524 should be 12 opposed. The other cause number ending 9523 is an intox assault. And so the punishment range by statute is limited to 10 years.
Okay.
Which is where that second different number comes from.
All right. Well, what I can tell parties is that in 2020 CR 9524, someone had written in punishment to be assessed at 10 years. So are both parties telling the court that in that cause number, punishment should be assessed at 10 years? Is that correct? State.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying something different. In cause ending 9524, the agreement between the parties was 12 opposed in 9524. But I am telling the court that in 9523, yes, it is 10 opposed.
Okay. So with regards to cause number 2020 CR 9524, is your agreement defense that the punishment was to be assessed at 12 years in the prison and your applications are opposed? Is that correct?
That is correct, Judge.
Mr. Gonzalez, did you understand that your plea bargain agreement in 2020 CR 9524 was to be punishment assessed at 12 years and the state would oppose your application? Did you understand that to be the plea?
Sí.
Now that that's cleared up, have both parties received the PSI report in each of these cause numbers?
Yes.
Judge, I don't think I have received it. I apologize. Until
problem.
you mentioned it, I don't think I have received the PSI.
All right, we will go off the record. And what I will do, let me see. Mr. Winter, it's been forwarded to me. So if you put your email in the chat box, I will forward it to you as well.
Sure, Judge.
Thank you.
Judge, can you put me a breakout room with Mr. Hemphill, please?
All right, just give me one moment.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Hemphill, if you'll go to breakout room number 3. And John Winter, just give me a moment and I will forward that to you. And please let me know if you receive it because my computer has been a little bit slow.
Okay, Judge.
All right, everyone, just give me a moment.
Is Norma present? There you are, Norma. So I received the PSI. Can I be placed in the breakout room with Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, sir. Let me move you. I gotta run to the judge's office.
I'll move you, Mr. Winter.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that would be very helpful. Thank you. Could I get somebody to enable the screen sharing in the breakout room? Is that possible?
Mr. Winter, I can go in there and share my screen with you if you'd like. I don't have the ability to enable yours, but
Okay, no, I guess that would be fine.
okay.
And Jesus necesita ir al breakout room. Probablemente ser en su video screen.
No ha salido nada.
No?
All right, I've invited Mr. Gonzalez to go to the breakout room. He's invited to go to breakout room number 4, Mr. Winter, and I've made it where you can share the screen.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Jesus, hay un botón que dice breakout room abajo del screen.
4.
Sí, sí, era eso.
All right, who are the parties on Abigail Torres?
Oh, Judge, I'm sorry. Oscar Cantu, I need breakout room 4 also. I don't have access.
Oh, sure.
That's correct.
I sent you to 4.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, who are the parties on Abigail Villegas-Taurus?
Judge Scott Hill for Ms. Torres.
Meredith McIntyre
for the state.
Thank you. Brenna, today is Wednesday. We're going to continue with our smiles. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 2311, State of Texas versus Abigail Villegas-Taurus. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
For the defense?
Scott Hill for Ms. Torres.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Villegas-Taurus, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you what's entitled Discovery Acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
I believe I have, Judge, and I have reviewed it with my client.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. The court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Ms. Villegas, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor. The state is moving to proceed on the lesser included offense of driving while intoxicated.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Torres, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of driving while intoxicated? That's a Class B misdemeanor. The range of punishment is up to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to enter into a plea bargain agreement and give up those rights?
Excuse me?
Did you intend to enter into this plea bargain agreement and give up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, sentence you up to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
She has, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, she is, Your Honor.
Ms. Villegas, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargaining agreement, the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of driving while intoxicated. There's a $500 fine, and the state recommends deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea bargaining agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargaining agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargaining agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 80 hours of community service restitution, DWI education, victim impact panel, an affidavit of non-driving, the in-home monitoring device, 90 days Texas driver's license suspension, and parenting classes. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense of driving while intoxicated as a Class B misdemeanor. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
No
Any
objections, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
Ms. Torres, I'm going to show you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to a jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Judge, and I just want to address a few of the state's recommendations.
Yes.
Judge, my client has been very proactive. I believe less than a month after she was arrested for this offense in February of last year, she attended a 3-month outpatient treatment with San Antonio Lifetime Recovery. She's got her certificate for that. That was part of our large mitigation packet that we sent to the DA's office. Her driver's license was already suspended through an ALR suspension last year. So we'd asked the court to consider running that concurrent with her previous suspension. Also, Judge, she's not even driving right now. She hasn't driven since that day. She got rid of her vehicle. She's got a job that she can work from home. And that's why we were requesting the in-home device for her. She's also currently still receiving treatment through the USAWA Family Treatment Center for anxiety and just general family counseling. So she's been very proactive, Judge, on this. She hasn't had a drop of alcohol since the date of the incident.
State.
Your Honor, we did receive the mitigation packet, which is why she's getting the deal that she is.
I'm sorry, you faded out, Meredith.
I apologize. I said, Your Honor, we did receive the mitigation packet from defense, which is why Ms. Villegas is getting the deal she is. And I'm not in disagreement with anything he's saying. I just want to make sure that she has on some sort of monitoring device.
Okay. And I'm sorry, Mr. Hill, what treatment program was she going through?
She completed the outpatient treatment, the 3-month outpatient treatment last year, Judge, with San Antonio Lifetime Recovery. But currently she's getting counseling at the USAWA Family Treatment Center. And to address the state's concerns, I'm not asking the court not to have a monitoring device on her. I just wanted the court to be aware of why it's an in-home device, because she doesn't have a vehicle.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court will follow your agreement, sentence her to 2 years deferred adjudication, $500 fine, that will be probated, 80 hours of community service restitution, or she can pay $7.25 per hour to the San Antonio Food Bank, DWI education course, VIP, affidavit of non-driving, and with the affidavit of non-driving, she will be allowed to have the in-home device. Is there a time period state that you wanted the in-home device? Nobody addressed that.
I'll do it for 1 year, Your Honor.
All right, defense?
Judge, she will follow the state's and court's recommendations.
All right, we'll do the in-home device for half the term. You're to continue your treatment through the USAWA, 90 days driver's license suspension, parenting classes, regular Zoom reporting. If you're unable to report by Zoom, then you'll have to report in person. Proof of employment within 15 days. Rebecca, is there anything else she needs?
No, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Villegas, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you
Yes, ma'am.
electronically sign it? Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, Ms. Villegas. And Ms. Villegas, this could have went south pretty fast. What I've discovered, and mind you, I haven't done, and we're off the record, Brenda. What I've discovered, and mind you, I haven't done full research on this. It's just in my experience in the legal field. People who are usually driving intoxicated, usually if there's a crash, they survive. The people who don't survive are usually their passengers or somebody they hit. You understand? So we have to be very careful. I appreciate and note the fact that you saw the issues you have and that you're trying to
Thank
get
you.
help for those. So I appreciate that, and I'm noting that, and that's one of the reasons why I probated your fine, so you don't have to worry about that, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right, good luck to you, Ms. Villegas.
Thank you so
Probation,
much.
I'm gonna, oh, you're welcome. Probation, I'm gonna send her to breakout room number 2. And Mr. Hill, you can go to number 2 if you choose, or either you are excused.
Okay, thank you, Judge. I'll join them.
All right, and you both can be excused from that breakout room.
Thank you,
Judge,
Judge.
are you ready for me to go in there now?
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
And Judge, can I announce whenever you have a chance?
Yes, just give me a moment. All right, Robert Maurer, yes. Mr. Hill.
Judge, on Devonta Hemphill, first of all, for some reason I thought I was done, so I told him to log out, and then Hunter reminded me by text that we still were in court. My case is eventually going to be a plea. The only issue is the specific, and if there is any restitution amount. So I made Hunter aware of some issues. If you could set this for maybe 3 weeks for a plea,
Okay.
I think the case will be resolved.
All right, Norma, on Devonta Hemphill, can you recall this in 3 weeks, please? You're on mute.
Yes, ma'am. He can come back on the 30th when he's, wait, 3 weeks?
Or you can bring him back on the same date that he's coming back for his other case.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that, was that the 30th?
July 30th.
Yes.
That's perfect. That'll be fine. That'll give us time to get this restitution issue clarified.
Okay. All right, if you don't have anything else with us.
I am done for the day.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge. I'll see y'all later.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Alfonso Cabanas.
Good morning, Judge. I'm here on Mr. Aaron Trevino.
Yes. Mr. Trevino, you needed to Your attorney is here, and Mr.
For which one?
Cabanas.
I'm sorry?
Aaron
Mr.
Trevino,
Cabanas.
Norma?
Yes. No, I have it, Mr. Cabanas. So, Mr. Cabanas, I'm going to send you to a breakout room for someone from family violence to confer with you.
Yes, Your Honor.
So Alfonso will meet you all in breakout room number 3. And if someone from family violence could go to 3, please.
Your Honor, would I stay right here?
No, Mr. Trevino, you're to remain here. When your attorney wants you, he'll ask, he'll request for you to go there, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Daniel Vela. All right, and everyone just give me Yes, yes. All right, are parties ready? Are we still waiting on Jesus Gonzalez-Moreno?
Judge, last I understood, the attorneys went to the breakout room to go over the PSI with the client.
Okay, let me see. Yes, they are still in the breakout room. So we will wait. All right, is there a prosecutor, David Martin, or either Joe Ray Garcia? If you can go to the breakout room to meet with Alfonso Cabanas, please.
I've been in there a couple times. It's empty. So I don't know.
All
if
right,
he's back.
Alfonso, you need to be in breakout room number, he just popped back in there.
Oh, okay.
All
Did he
right,
pop back in
today,
there? Did he pop back in there yesterday when he was supposed to be?
today is, you know, Wednesday, but it's sort of like a Monday. All right, everyone, just give me a moment. Okay. Let's see here. Yes. Sure, just give me one moment. Tom Nesbitt, are you there?
Yes, Judge.
All right, I think I have everyone now. All right, everyone, can you make sure that you're on English only? And Carmen, would you like to test to see if Mr. Gonzalez can hear?
Sí, oiga.
All right, we are back on the record in 2019 CR 9524 and 2019 CR 9523. We took a break so that the defense could review the PSI report. Defense, have you had an opportunity to review the PSI report with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the court will note for the record that we also have attorney Oscar Cantu here. Is that correct, Mr. Cantu?
Yes, Judge, I'm muted, but I'm here.
All right. And you represent Mr. Gonzalez-Moreno as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
So is there any objection from the defense to the PSI report?
No, Your Honor. One minor correction. According to the PSI report, they report that Mr. Gonzalez told them that he was smoking marijuana daily. After reviewing it with him, he said he wasn't really a daily marijuana smoker, more of a weekly marijuana smoker. And so we just want to make that one correction. Oh, I'm sorry. And another more important correction, he states that he has never been a gang member. They do report that he is listed in the DPS database as a gang member. He denies ever being a member of the, I believe it was Partidas Revolucionarias Mexicanos, and he denies that.
Okay. All right. State, any objections to the PSI report?
No objections from the state.
All right, then state, you are opposed. Do you have any witnesses?
No, Judge, we're going to have victim impact, but we have no witnesses, just argument.
All right, defense, any witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. I call Jesus Gonzalez-Moreno.
All right, Jesus Gonzalez-Moreno, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Sí, señora.
All right, if you could state your name for the record, please.
Jesús Abraham González-Moreno.
All right, defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. Jesus, prior to being arrested for this case, were you working?
Sí, oiga, trabajaba todos los días y excepto ese día iba para trabajar. Iba para mi trabajo, iba a recoger unas gentes, iba para trabajar. Pasó el accidente. Por lo lamento.
Okay, Jesus. And yes. And let me just instruct you real quick. The easiest way to do this would be listen to my question and answer that question. Okay, I know you have a lot that you want to say, and we're going to try and get to everything. But the way to do it in a timely fashion is just answer whatever's asked, okay?
Okay.
Okay. And so what do you do? What did you do for work?
Tape and floor. La construcción.
Okay, so construction.
Yeah.
Okay. And who did you support with your job, with the work that you did?
Pues a mis hijos, a mi señora, y mandaba para mi madre, para México, oiga. Ayudaba a ellos.
Okay. And we're not going to, hide anything here. You're here in this country illegally, correct?
Sí.
And so did you come here for work?
Sí, oiga, vine a trabajar.
Okay. And that helped you support family and support your mother back home?
Sí, oiga. Sí.
Okay. How many children do you have here?
Dos.
Do you have any children back in Mexico?
No.
How old are your children here?
5 y 4.
Okay. And they've been staying with their mother since all of this happened. Is that correct?
Sí, viven con ella, sí.
Okay. Let's talk about the day that this happened. Now, this happened early in the morning. Had you been up all night?
No, oiga, pues venía de Austin. Me vine temprano de Austin y pues venía del camino hasta que pasó esto del accidente. Y ya de ahí pues ya no recuerdo. Pero, o sea, iba para trabajar.
Okay. And now there were drugs in your system. There was a little bit of alcohol and some marijuana and some methamphetamine as well. do you recall, had you been, like out the night before? Were you doing drugs and drinking the night before?
No. No.
Okay. So how did those drugs get in your system?
Pues yo creo que como pues no se quita desde luego, oiga, se queda en el sistema, ¿sí me entiende? Pero no, o sea, no lo hice en ese día, pero el día anterior no, ¿sí me entiende? O sea, pero como pues no se te quita en el sistema, hasta donde yo sé, no se te quita a la semana ni a las 2 semanas, se te quita retirado. Es por eso que te salió en el sistema, que traía yo drogas.
Okay. Well, and let's talk about the accident. Do you remember the accident? Do you remember what led up to the accident?
La mera verdad, oiga, pues no le voy a echar mentiras, no, oiga. No quiero echarle mentiras ni quiero ponerle nada, pero no recuerdo, yo la mera verdad no recuerdo. Ya cuando desperté estaba en el hospital, ya estaba todo, ya estaba.
Okay. But when you woke up, did the police tell you what had happened?
No recuerdo si fue ese día o fue días después, oiga, eso sí tampoco no lo recuerdo muy bien, si fue ese mismo día o fue después. Porque
Well, when was it that? Go ahead.
porque lo de la muerte, a mí me dijo mi señora vino a visitarme al hospital y mi señora fue la que a mí me dijo, hubo un fallecido ahí. No sabía yo de eso, tampoco no sabía nada de eso. Mi señora fue la que vino, me visitó al hospital, vino y me dijo, hubo un fallecido. Pues,
So how did that make you feel?
pues oiga, se me salieron las lágrimas, la mera verdad, sí, pues lo lamento mucho de la familia y pues ya no puedo regresarles el tiempo para tenerles otra vez al Señor, pero pues nomás lo lamento de mi corazón.
And you also injured some people as well. When did you hear about that from your wife too, or was that before? Was that after?
No, me dijo mi señora, o sea, me dijo que fueron 4 por todos, parece, ¿verdad? Fueron cuatro personas los que estuvieron ahí. Eran 4.
And so what was going through your head when your wife was telling you this?
Pues oiga, sentí que se me vino el mundo abajo, oiga. Pues yo sabía que me iba a esperar un rato en la cárcel y pues a nadie le gusta estar encerrado y luego pues se me vino mis hijos, mi mamá, mi señora y todos, oiga.
Okay. Did you think about those people, about the family?
Sí, también, oiga. Sí, también pensé, o sea, pensé en ellos también, dije también, pues, también se les fue un familiar de ellos y pues.
Okay. Well, I know that some of them are watching this right now. Is there anything you want to say to them?
Pues nomás que lo lamento, oiga, y pues que me perdonen y todo, oiga, por lo que pasó eso, pero pues no fue intencional, oiga, que yo lo haya querido ni que lo haya ocasionado. No lo recuerdo cómo estuvo, nomás de que pues mi más sentido pésame y que me perdone la familia, oiga.
Okay, I pass the witness, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Gonzalez-Moreno, I missed the part where you said how the marijuana and the methamphetamine ended up in your system. How are you telling the court here today how those illegal drugs ended up in your bloodstream?
Como que los tenía yo en mi sistema.
Yes.
Pues sí lo hacía, oiga, sí, ¿para qué lo voy a decir que no? No le quiero echar mentiras ni a usted tampoco, pero diario que usted diga todos los días o soy un drogadicto, eso sí no, oiga. Sí lo hice, o sea, sí lo hice, pero no que diga usted toda esa semana ni una semana después, pero yo sé que sí lo salía en mis sistemas, sí iba a salir en mi sistema. Porque no se quita eso, o sea, no se quita luego, ¿sí me entiende?
Yeah. So my question is not about the frequency of how you would have used illegal drugs in the past. My question is, when you crashed into the Kephart family that morning, when had you used that marijuana and meth right before that crash?
No, que lo hice antes del choque, eso sí no. Marihuana sí fumé ese día, ¿para qué lo voy a decir que no?
I'm asking when.
¿Cómo
You
dice,
did.
oiga? No le entiendo.
Interpreter, are you asking me, interpreter, or are you asking him? What are you saying? Got it. So you're admitting you smoked pot that day. Marijuana.
Sí, eso sí, oiga, ¿para qué no le voy a echar mentiras?
And when we say day, it was very early in the morning.
Sí, pues eso fue como a las 7 o 8, no recuerdo. El accidente.
And are you aware that the police found empty Bud Light containers in your car as well?
Eso sí, no sé, oiga. Eso sí, no. O sea, no sé si había latas en la camioneta.
Are you aware that you admitted that you had been drinking Bud Lights when they asked you?
Ok, sí.
In 2017, the ICE picked you up and deported you, correct?
Sí.
How did you come back?
Pues por el monte, oiga. Me vine de ilegal. Otra vez me vine caminando. Y ya me vine otra vez acá con mi familia.
That's witness, Judge.
Defense?
No further questions, Judge.
All right, defense, do you have any other witness?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court will hear argument then. State?
We will reserve to go last, Judge.
All right, defense?
Thank you, Judge. Judge, there's no getting around the fact that Jesus Gonzalez's actions, drastically altered the lives of the family, of the people that he hurt. The Kepharts, I'm sure have had a very difficult time getting through this. I'd like to tell them I apologize to them. I know that Jesus is sorry for what he did. But unfortunately, nobody can change what he did. Nobody can change the actions that took a life, that seriously injured 3 of the family members. But when you look at who Jesus is, he's not a criminal. He's not somebody who's doing these things, doing anything to intentionally break laws. What he's doing, and I'm sure that Mr. Nesbitt is going to point out, well, he was in this country illegally. He was breaking law at that time. Keep in mind, this is something that he feels the need to do because of the lack of opportunity in his home country. It's something he feels the need to do because he's got family here. He's got a wife here. He's got children here.
And Mr. Winter, I'm sorry to interrupt, but could you explain to the court, because I've read the PSI report, you said that he's not a gang member, but the PSI report says that he has gang tattoos. So what gang tattoos are they talking about in the PSI report?
Judge, I don't think the PSI report is very specific. I asked Jesus what tattoos they may be talking about. He pointed out, and he can show it to you. He's got a tattoo on his forearm. And I mean, I'm not an expert of tattoos, but it's not like your typical, you know, I'm used to the local ones, right? The Spurs symbols, the 210, MS-13 stuff, you know. And so I don't see where that's like an eagle claw or an eagle head or something like that. I don't see, I just don't know. He denies being a gang member, just so you know.
Okay, no,
And
I just was wondering what the tattoo was, but you can continue.
Jesus, can you show the judge your forearm? Show the judge the tattoo, and you're gonna have to hold it right up to the camera.
Sí, sí.
Okay.
So that's apparently, I don't know. I really don't know what the deal is with the gang membership. But keep in mind, he doesn't have a criminal background that would be associated with a lot of gang activity. So I'm not really sure. Basically, he's somebody who's you know, trying to take care of the people that matter to him, the people who he feels responsible for. So I want to point out a couple of things. He does not have an extensive criminal background. The criminal background he has is for illegal reentry, coming back to this country when he shouldn't have. I want to point out that according to the terms of our plea bargain, now this is something that Mr. Nesbitt and I have talked about. We have affirmative finding of a deadly weapon checked off as part of the plea bargain. After talking with Tom about it, and I want you to make sure that he agrees with it, that is something that we're not necessarily agreeing to. Since you have the discretion to determine whether a deadly weapon was used or not, and since he is not eligible for probation with the affirmative finding of a deadly weapon, we are asking that you not enter that finding. And the reason why we're asking for that is because of the fact that on probation, he would be able to, of course, he would be deported. He would be able to, you know, work there, send money here in a kind of, you know, ironic kind of twist to support the wife and children that he has here. You could make conditions of his probation that he not enter the country illegally again. That could be an additional incentive for him to do things the right way. And there's just no getting around the fact that nothing he can do can make the Kephardts whole. But then again, prison is not going to make them whole either. And so with somebody with a limited criminal background like he's got, we really think that probation is the appropriate thing, and we are asking for probation. On the manslaughter case, you can actually give him deferred adjudication. On the intoxication assault, of course, you cannot give him deferred adjudication, so we're applying for regular probation. I will turn it over to the state.
State.
Yeah, please, the court. Judge, what Mr. Winter said about the deadly weapon allegation is, for the most part, the depth of our conversation, just that it is a special issue That's the court's discretion to make that finding or not if there is a prison sentence imposed. And in that vein, I'd like to just sort of discuss the hypotheticals of how this plays out with somebody who has twice been picked up for illegal reentry by the federal government and is once again back here in our criminal justice system. If you give him probation, he gets deported. And if he gets deported, he goes back to Mexico, and there is zero punishment for taking a man's life and destroying a family. Then he probably just comes back through the mountains like he explained, and maybe there's an MTR if they do catch him that time. And we're right back here discussing the scenario of what I'm about to say, and that is that he pays for what he did with his time. I don't think it's fair to say that he doesn't intentionally break laws. He at least admitted to the court he woke up and smoked marijuana that morning. I mean, that's pretty early in the morning. He has empties in the car. He has alcohol in his system. He had drifted all the way into the wrong lane, the head-on lane, and hit this poor family on their way to church. I mean, I don't know what could be more unfair or sympathetic in the universe than what happened to the Kephart family. So what the state is asking is that Your Honor deny the applications and hit the cap on both cases. We think that it is just and fair based on the facts. We don't think there's anything particularly mitigating in the PSI. We know the court paid special attention to page 2, page 7 and 8, and that the court always carefully reviews all the evidence. And we also know that the court would be cognizant of a very large showing of the Kepharts here today, here for everybody that was injured in the car, but also here for justice, Your Honor. And with that, we thank you.
All right, is there anything else from either side before the courts make its ruling?
Not from the state.
There you are.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, I want you to be aware of something. In the 187 District Court, when people come to me for sentencing, I'm not concerned, or should I say, my ruling is not affected by what the media may be saying or what some outside forces may be saying. What I do and what people want me to do is look at a case objectively. If I wasn't going to look at it objectively, then I assure you, your defense attorney in the state would not want me to hear the case. So I'm looking at it objectively. I've reviewed the PSI in detail, and I always read the PSI actually once it's given to me. So I reviewed it with a fine-tooth comb. And Mr. Gonzalez-Moreno, based upon reviewing that PSI report, based upon your testimony and all the evidence that's been presented to me, I don't think that you are a good candidate for probation or deferred adjudication. So in each of the cases, I am going to find you guilty. And I don't know if either party wanted to speak towards the affirmative finding of deadly weapon. What I can tell you, driving a vehicle while intoxicated and hitting someone in a vehicle can be a deadly weapon. Did anybody want to address whether or not the court should proceed with an affirmative finding of deadly weapon?
Yes, Your Honor. I simply want to point out, as we've already discussed, that you do have the discretion to determine whether there will be an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon or not. It is our request that the punishment does not require that affirmative finding, and we're asking that you do not make that affirmative finding.
All right, state.
The exact opposite, Judge. Per our earlier request, the evidence not only introduces the prospect, but wholly supports it. What better res ipsa evidence of a deadly weapon than it actually succeeded in being deadly? We think the case merits it.
All right. Then in cause number 2019 CR 9523, as previously stated, the court is finding you guilty. Court will sentence you to 10 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. Court will take in consideration 2019 CR 9521, 2019 CR 9522. This to run concurrent with 2019 CR 9524. Restitution, if any, to Nancy Kephart, that's Kephart, Wendy Kephart, and Nathaniel Kephart. Is there anything from either side with regards to sentencing in that cause number?
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
Mr. Moreno, I'm going to show you a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Sí.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And also because it's a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Sí.
Then in cause number 2019 CR 9524, as previously stated, the court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 10 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. This will run concurrent with 2019 CR 9523. Take in consideration 2019 CR 9521, 2019 CR 9522. There is to be restitution, if any, to Nathaniel, Wendy, and Nancy Kephart. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing from either side?
Not the terms themselves, none from the state.
Nothing from the defense, Judge.
Mr. Moreno, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Sí.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And also because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Sí.
All right, we can close the record. Mr. Moreno, I understand that maybe you didn't intend to kill anyone, but this is what happens when people drink and drive. People need to stop drinking and driving. There's Uber, people can walk, drink, but drink at your house, because again, I have not done any formal statistics, but usually what ends up happening when people are driving intoxicated and hit someone, they usually end up surviving. The people who end up getting killed or seriously injured are their passengers or someone else on the road. Is there victim impact?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, who's going to give victim impact?
My email from Daniel.
There's someone raising their hand by the name of, they're under Lori T. Does anyone know who that is for me?
I'm trying to, I think Daniel is not here. Sorry, I'm a little shorthanded.
No, the people we have on the screen, we have Nancy Kephart, Kephart family listed. I believe that's Diana, it's cutting off. Nathaniel and Wendy Kephart, Carla with the Kephart family, and Lori T.
And Casper.
Thank you, and Casper.
Well, I guess we can start with Nancy, Judge.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Let me just spotlight some people here. They're saying, I'm going to remove myself from the spotlight, everyone, because I'm only allowed to spotlight so many people. All right, and Tom, are you okay if I remove you from the spotlight?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so who is going to be speaking? All right, Mr. Casper Kephart, if you can unmute yourself. All right, and before he starts speaking, Mr. Casper Kephart, we do have an interpreter, so everyone needs to speak slowly so that she can interpret. The other thing, in the 187 District Court, I've noticed you guys have been here. I require that everyone's polite to everyone. I know everyone will be polite. And Mr. Gonzalez, if you'll just internalize what's being said. And with that, Casper Kephart, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Gonzalez, it's hard to even put it into words. I know you're a family man. And so you're feeling everything, and your family's still alive. And you are going to be stuck in doing time for what has happened. Please give it some thought as to your alcohol and drug use. You took my best friend, and he's not coming back. And there is no amount of time that we could ask you to do that would ever bring him back. So please, young man, think about your actions. If you are a family man, like you say, like you support your mother back in Mexico, and like you support your family here, then act like a family man, please. That's all I have.
All right, who is next, please? All right, Diane, if you could unmute, please.
I just want to say that I realize what has happened is an accident. And it's so important too to see that your accident took someone's life. He was a brother, a dad, a husband, and a grandpa. And while the family's not pushing for an eye, for justification, you did break the law, resulting in my brother's death. We don't believe that 2 years would have been enough. We don't know the length of time that would be justified. But what price is there to pay for the life of a brother, a dad, a husband, and a grandpa? There were so many different things that complicated this whole circumstance and this whole situation. My daughter was dying of cancer, and my brother promised to be here when I needed him. And I keep thinking, had I asked for him to come, it may have spared his life. So 24 hours after you killed my brother, my daughter lost her life. So it's been a very difficult time. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else to speak? All right, the person, I know your name is Nancy Kephart, but that's how you're listed on the screen. If you could unmute yourself for me, please.
My name is Nicholas Kephart. I am the son of Keith Kephart. Speaking to you, Mr. Gonzalez, I have a son that is 2 years old now. He was 6 months old when his grandfather was taken. Like it or not, I know you have young children, but it is like a bomb went off in our family when we lost our father. My son will not grow up knowing my dad, a genuinely good man. He cared for all of us. He was involved in all of our lives. He took in anyone who needed help, and he continued to be a good friend and to be a wonderful, wonderful father. He had just slowed down in his life in the fact that he was pretty much retiring, and he was focusing on his grandchildren at that time. Due to your poor decisions and ultimate actions, you took the life of my father, who I feel for you having to do time. I do. But no amount of time will bring back what he lost with his grandchildren and ultimately with his kids. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? All right, and I believe this may be Nancy Kephart. All right, you may start.
Mr. Gonzalez-Moreno, I'm sorry that you're going to have to spend time in jail, and I feel for your children. My husband and I had been married 38 years. This year it would have been 40. And we had a good marriage. He was a genuinely good man. He was here to take care of his children, take care of his parents. We have 6 acres. He built a house on the land for his parents. My mom had passed away 2 years before Keith was killed, and he built an apartment for my dad on the land so we could take care of my dad. He was very involved with his grandchildren. He loved them. He didn't get to see his last grandchild born at all. Colton wasn't born until 4 months after Keith passed away. And so Keith never got to meet him. Keith and I were slowing down in work, and we're planning on just retiring and enjoying what we had worked so hard to build. We were going to garden, we were going to travel, we were just going to enjoy being husband and wife to each other now that our kids were grown and married and had started their own families. And you took that. I guess I'm sorry you're going to be in jail, but I'm hoping that what you take away from this is poor decisions affect so many more people. It's not just what it affects you or your son or your daughter or your wife, but it affected a family so huge and so loving, and it impacted them for years to come. So I hope, if nothing else, you will think about what you've done and make better decisions, because we're not getting Keith back. We've lost so much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? All right, I believe that's Nathaniel. Yes, if you could unmute, please.
My wife and I, we were in the car crash, and of course we were put through a lot with the car crash. My wife actually coded 3 times, and so I actually didn't have much time to mourn the death of my father because I was trying so hard to hold it together with my wife dying. She didn't. She's here right now, but she still had a lot of recovery to go through. My dad, he wasn't perfect, but that didn't stop him from trying. I'll say that. And he was the kind of guy to where he loved and cared for everybody, even if others felt they didn't deserve it. For instance, like right now, he would probably crack a joke right now trying to cheer you up because that's the kind of guy that he was. But that's the kind of man that is gone now. Someone who nobody disliked, somebody everyone loved because he put everybody before himself. And I just want you, I'm sorry about you having to serve time. I understand that it's going to be difficult for you and your family. And I'm not going to pretend I know what that's like. But just try to imagine the type of man he was. And if you can, try to be a man like him. Because we could use men like him in this world. And if you try to be a man like him, then it will never bring him back. But at least you trying to be better man like he was. He was always trying to be a better man. And that's all I have to say. I'm sorry.
No problem. Thank you so much for coming. Is there anyone else? Okay, so there is Lori Teague who wishes to speak. In order for that to happen, I'll have to remove one of you all from the spotlight. Okay, just 1 second. All right, Miss Lori Teague, if you could unmute for me, please.
Yes, I'm Laurie Teague. I'm Keith's sister. And I agree with everything that everyone has said. They put it so beautifully in what we've lost. His attorney, your attorney, Mr. Gonzalez, said that a prison sentence won't change what happened, which is true. Sadly, I wish it could. But it can stop it happening to someone else. And I think that is the main goal here with the judicial system and in our hearts, is that we want to spare anyone else from going through what we went through and will continue going through. Again, your attorney said that you were here just wanting to take care of the people you love. But were you thinking of them when you had meth, marijuana, and alcohol in your system? You weren't thinking of your family then, and you destroyed ours. And so I want you to know the impact that you had on all of us, because we lost a great man. And that saddens me so much. I miss him every day and would give anything to have turned back the clock. Since that's not possible, this is the only justice we can hope for. And I agree with Nathaniel that I hope that you will become a better man and that you will learn from this and pick yourself up, because those years will pass. And then it'll be up to you what you do with your life from that point on. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else? All right, then with that, I'm going to remove all spotlights. Mr. Winter, Mr. Cantu, did you need to speak with your client anymore before we send him back?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Gonzalez, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. And John Winter and Oscar, will you need the interpreter?
No, Judge, I think we'll be okay. Thank you to the interpreter for her help here today.
All right, Miss Nero, I'm sorry, I was like Nero. No, it's Carmen. Carmen, thank you so much. We've had 3 interpreters on the screen today. Yes.
Save the best for last.
Oh, yes. You may be excused. Thank you so much, and say thank you to all the interpreters who came in today for us. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Tom Nesbitt, did you need to speak to any? And John, I sent the request for you all to go to those rooms. Could you tell your client in Spanish, please, to go to number 1?
I don't see him on. I'm going to assume he's on the scene.
He's
Jesús, necesita ir a la cuarta 1. En el botón de join breakout room, puse eso y hay una caja que dice que ir al cuarto 1. ¿Puede hacer eso?
All right, let me see. He went there.
Okay.
All
Thank you,
right.
Judge.
And then Tom, with regards to the people on the screen for you, the kept parts, did you all need to speak with them in a breakout room?
No, Judge, we'll follow up by telephone.
All right, then
Thank you.
everyone, I'm going to stop the live Zoom. We're going to come back. I'm going to say 2-ish because it is 12:58 p.m. and I know everyone